Hello, I'm Janine Nodder, and I'm in Manchester, New Hampshire, with the National Committee Woman for the state of New Hampshire, Phyllis Woods, and to the other side of me is Governor John H. Sununu.
It's great to be here. It's great to be part of this summit. You know, New Hampshire has a wonderful tradition of getting women into politics, into leadership roles. Our legislature is almost half women. Our Senate is more than half women. We want to make sure they're Republican women in 2010. It's great to see the turnout here, the energy level, and not only are good things happening around the country, extra good things for Republicans are happening in New Hampshire.
Thank you, Governor. I wanted to thank you for coming out of retirement. You're doing an excellent job.
You don't have to remind people I'm that old.
And Phyllis Woods, and you're the one that put this whole summit together?
Yes. You know, I think it's very important for us to reach out to Republican women as a constituency. It's not that we need to look at any one particular group, but as you know, we have 424 people we're trying to get to run for our legislature, plus our county offices and other offices, and we need to include women, and traditionally we have not necessarily asked women to run and encouraged them to run. So I thought this would be a really good way to network with other women and to highlight and showcase Republican women who have really contributed to our state and have ascended to a leadership role and are integral to our party's success, to work with Chairman Sununu.
Now, I know it's a summit, but does that mean we're having beer?
Ask Phyllis, she's in charge.
No, I think we won't have beer. We want people to be pretty clear-headed. We are offering some food. We've had wonderful sponsors, and it's great because we're able to offer this, which is not a campaign school, it's not a candidate training, it's not an issue forum, and it's not a showcase for our candidates. It's simply to get women together in the state who have either served, are serving, or are considering being candidates, or that we can maybe use some of the governor's warmth and charm to convince that they should, in fact, consider running for an office for our party.
So it's definitely not a beer summit, but I'm looking forward to it. And who are some of the speakers?
We'll be having a great deal of fun, just the same. We have former Speaker of the House, Donna Sitek, who's going to talk about the history of Republican women in the state. We have a panel with Maureen Mooney, Representative Jen Coffey, and Senator Sharon Carson. They'll be doing a panel talking about what it means to run as a woman in the Republican House and what some of the sacrifices, challenges, and the rewards of public service are. But our main featured speaker today is going to be co-chairman Jan Larimer, who works with Michael Steele on the RNC, has decided to come.
That's a big name.
It is. It's great. This is the first state that has actually had an in-state women's summit. There have been national summits and regional summits put on by the RNC, but we wanted New Hampshire to be first in the nation once again.
Well, you're doing a good job with this. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you again, Governor.
Thank you very much. Just want to remind the women of New Hampshire, it is fun to serve and it's important to serve, and we need their help.
And I would say, to add to that, Governor, that I believe that a woman's place is in the House and the Senate.
There you go. Thank you.
Chairman Michael Steele. I'm sure you've seen him several times on Fox News and on TV. And there is another person always that works not as a vice chair, but as the co-chair. And just as every state has a committee man and a committee woman, we always have, you know, one of each. Hopefully, at some point, we'll have as national chair a woman representative. But this woman also works very, very closely with Chairman Michael Steele. Co-chairman Jan Larimer worked, I guess, has been active over 30 years, working on numerous campaigns where she's really done a great job with not only the women's program, but helping out with all of the RNC meetings that we've had throughout the country since she was elected, the same day that Michael Steele was in January of 2009. So she has been traveling the country and we'd like to thank her for all she has done, all she is doing, and as the governor would say, all she will do. Please give a warm welcome to co-chairman Jan Larry.
Thank you, Phyllis. I would like to say that you are overrepresented in New Hampshire with my women and what they're buying, their portfolios. Women in the next 10 years will inherit 85 to 90% of the money in the United States. There are 5 million more women than men. And why does this matter? It matters because we are the group that is going to make the difference in the next elections. The new businesses that are being formed, twice as many women as men are forming small businesses. It is the largest, small businesses is the largest new anything that's happening in the United States. It's overwhelming how many new businesses are being formed, and it is the women by majority, 2 to 1, that are doing this. So it's unbelievable. Phyllis, I met a friend today that has started a new business. So you back there? Right back over here. She's starting a business. There are 10.6 million new businesses, and they employ 19 million people. But they're not expanding once they get going. Why? Why? Because of Nancy Pelosi and health care and the trillions of dollars in debt that our country is having piled on us. We have taken on this week Nancy Pelosi in every way, shape, and form, because Nancy Pelosi last weekend talked to a group of artists and musicians and told them that they no longer need to be job locked, that they can leave their jobs because the country will give them health care, and they can pursue their entrepreneurship that they have a right to pursue. I am so outraged by that. We have hit it all week long very hard. We've had op-ed pieces such as the U.S. News and World Report, because people should be just totally enraged by what they are doing to our country. We have to stop it. We have to stop Nancy Pelosi. We have to put her on the back bench. And one of the things that we are doing is very strongly working on new media. We have a person in our building, Todd Herman is his name. He was one of the senior people with Microsoft. Microsoft did a lot of work electing Democrats. He got tired of it, so he came to our building and said, can I help you? Can I come to work for you, and we'll elect Republicans? He's there. We are on the cutting edge of new media, because that's how we're going to get the new young voters that haven't voted with us in the past. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Ning. We have a Facebook cause page. If you go to rncwomen.com, you can all join with us. This week we have asked all of the women that we have, and we have about 60,000 emails that are following us on rncwomen.com. We have asked them to give us 100 reasons why Nancy Pelosi has to go. We're starting to gather, you will not believe some of the answers, but we're going to post them one day at a time, all 100 reasons that we are collecting from women just like you of why we don't want Nancy Pelosi speaking on behalf of our country or on behalf of women in this country.